I'm not someone who shares personal stories often, mostly because my life has always been pretty normal. But this is something I've never been able to forget. And even now, it genuinely scares me. I think it might do the same to you. Back in the summer of 2023, I was doing small plumbing jobs around the city just to get by. It wasn't anything special, long days, intense heat, and not a lot of money coming in. But it was enough. Most of my days were pretty normal. I usually got small work, fixing pipes, sealing cracks, and sometimes cleaning old water tanks. That night, I got a call from an elderly woman who said her name was Chloe. She told me there was an issue with her water tank connection. Some pipe had been connected incorrectly, and because of that, the water inside had started to smell a bit bad. She said her husband had already fixed the connection, but the dirty water was still inside the tank and needed to be removed. According to her, it wasn't a lot of work. I told her my price, and she agreed. Then I left around 11 p.m. At that time, I used to take any work, no matter the hour, because I really needed the money. Looking back, that might have been a mistake. She gave me the location, and when I got there, I stood outside the house for a moment. It didn't look too good or too bad, just normal. I walked up to the gate, and just as I reached it, it suddenly opened. That honestly scared me for a second, but then I saw it was the old woman who opened it. Still, it felt a bit strange, like she was already standing there, waiting for me. I didn't think too much about it. I just wanted to finish the work and go back home. We talked for a bit, but something felt off. Sometimes she would just go quiet in the middle of talking and stare at me. I had to call her a couple of times to get her attention back. I don't know, maybe it was just because of her age. Anyway, she told me to follow her to the tank. She walked ahead, and I followed her up the stairs to the rooftop. And then the water tank was right in front of me. And yeah, from the outside the house looked completely normal. But once I stepped inside, everything was in really bad condition. The walls were dirty, the place felt neglected, and on top of that, there was a strong smell coming from the old woman herself. It was like she had been around dirty, stagnant water. Anyway, when I got to the rooftop, I noticed the stairs attached to the tank looked really weak. I climbed up carefully, step by step. Because of all this, I didn't even notice when the old woman walked away. I just assumed she had gone back downstairs after showing me the tank. When I reached the top and looked inside, it was exactly how she described it. There was dirty water inside, not a lot, but enough to smell really bad. Instead of using a motor to drain it, I decided to go inside the tank and open the lower valve from within so the water could drain out completely. I held onto the edge near the lid and slowly lowered myself inside, placing my feet at the bottom. I turned on the flashlight attached to my head and started looking for the outlet on the inner wall. At first, I didn't think I'd need a mask for such a small amount of water, but once I got inside, I realized how bad the smell actually was. So I quickly put one on. After a bit of searching, I found the valve and started loosening it with my screwdriver. The water began to drain out slowly. I just stood there, waiting for the tank to empty. And then, as the water level kept dropping, something started becoming visible inside. At first, it was just a shape, but as more water drained, I could clearly see it. It was the old woman. She was inside the tank. At that moment, only her eyes were visible above the remaining water, and they were wide open, staring directly at me. I felt completely frozen. It was like my body just stopped working. After a few moments, I somehow snapped out of it. When I looked again, she was just lying there inside the tank. That was enough for me. I immediately grabbed the edge near the lid and pulled myself out as fast as I could. I jumped down, rushed to the stairs, and ran down without even thinking. I grabbed my tools and started running toward the exit, shouting in panic. As I reached the ground floor, I saw her again. She was standing there, completely still, just staring at me. I was terrified, but I didn't stop. I kept running toward the gate. I glanced back once, and she was still there, not moving, just watching me. I got out of the house, jumped into my vehicle, and drove away as fast as I could. The next day, I told the police, some local people, and even a few distant relatives about what happened. What I found out after that was even worse. That house had been abandoned for years. No one had lived there in a long time. Hearing that made my head spin. Even now, it's been almost 3 years, but I can still picture that moment clearly. And it still scares me just as much.